Hey guys, just wanted to say that the following video is a bit more somber than my usual stuff. That's really because I am trying to make the videos as much as I can, but sometimes I just am not going to be able to do it. So I suppose this video is a bit more serious than other ones. I don't really have a problem with talking seriously, but at the same time I feel that this is one of those videos that you might not necessarily want to watch if you just watch me for entertaining stuff. Feel free to watch a video of me recording a Magic Bus cover with your man Alex Smith, who I will link down here. He's a very talented musician, and that cover should be up in the next few weeks. And if you want to keep watching after that, feel free, and if not, I will see you guys on Sunday. So thanks very much. Bye. So we're recording Magic Bus. Say hi, Alex, because they can't see you.
Hey again.
Haha.
Whoa, the Magic Bus.
Whoa, Magic Bus.
Whoa, Magic Bus.
So I missed my video on Wednesday, which means technically I should be punished. I decided that it is important for me to try and do it on Wednesdays and Sundays. I was going to try and be a bit more lenient on myself, but I think it's very important to try and do that. But I will say that in the future that might not necessarily always be the case, because a punishment video will have to be very separate to the normal video, otherwise it just takes too much time. So basically the reason I missed Wednesday's video is that I really just didn't want to get out of bed, because I didn't want to deal with anything that day, and it's been slow. But I got a haircut and I feel better, and I want to talk about flaws. Specifically, I want to talk about how flaws and pain define us as people. I've always found it interesting how people define flaws. Mostly it seems to be something physical. I have big eyebrows or a podgy nose or some other physical flaw, and I'm no exception to this. I have an indent in my chest because I'm so skinny. I have huge eyebrows. My nose is straightly crooked, as you can see. My ears are too big. I have many flaws. But the way I've learned to deal with these things is that I often go out of my way to get photos as an actor. And I put those up and I really try and take what people say on those photos, who are my friends on Facebook and such, to heart. If enough people say it, surely the numbers theory can't be that wrong. Of course, up here, it doesn't really matter what thousands of people say. You can still feel incredibly insecure. I think we can all relate to that feeling of being uncomfortable, like you think your hair is greasy after you've taken your hat off, or you realize your makeup has run in the heat. It's kind of alienating. Of course, there's other flaws that are inside. You might have a bad temper, you might have trouble understanding people's problems, you might feel you're being ungrateful when you feel bad, and that just makes you feel worse. What I've noticed is that a lot of people try to pin all these feelings that we have and try to blame it on something specific in society, like magazines or the media. And while I think they have a huge part in why we're built to think that way, why we're built to feel that way, I don't think I necessarily agree. Did you know, for example, that the Roman army had a symbol called the eagle, which they would hold up in their legion, and there would be one flag bearer who would bear it at all times. And if anyone came anywhere near this flag bearer, the holder of the symbol of the whole entire Roman Empire, there'd be 20 people surrounded in front of him like that. Because I think it's ingrained in us to find symbolism in the way we present ourselves. If we present ourselves as strong and mighty and unbreakable, then we can follow through with that and actually make it so. Basically, I don't think that presenting ourselves in a certain way to make ourselves feel unbreakable and strong is nothing new. It seems to me that we try to present ourselves in this way because if we look good and we present ourselves in a good, strong way, then we get hurt less. Because we don't like to hurt. We don't like to be vulnerable. Which brings me on to pain. If you've read the Dresden Files, you'll recognize this quote. We still hadn't learned, though, that growing up is all about getting hurt. And then getting over it. You hurt, you recover. You move on. Odds are pretty good you're just going to get hurt again, but each time you learn something. Each time you come out of it a little stronger, and at some point you realize that there are more flavors of pain than coffee. There's the empty little pain of leaving something behind, graduating, taking the next step forward, walking out of something familiar and safe into the unknown. There's the big whirling pain of life, upending all your plans and expectations. There's the sharp little pains of failure and the more obscure aches of successes that didn't give you what you thought they would. There are the vicious, stabbing pains of hopes being torn up, the sweet little pains of finding others, giving them your love, and taking joy in their life as they grow and learn. There's the steady pain of empathy that you shrug off so you can stand beside a wounded friend and help them bear their burdens. And if you're very, very lucky, there are a few blazing hot little pains you feel when you realize you are standing in a moment of utter perfection, an instant of triumph, or happiness, or mirth, which at the same time cannot possibly last, and yet will remain with you for life. Everyone is down on pain, because they forget something important about it. Pain is for the living. Only the dead don't feel it. And I think that's a very important thing for me to remember right now, because while I may not want to do anything because I'm overwhelmed by whatever I might be feeling overwhelmed by, the alternative is nothing. And I would much rather fill my life with the little pains of having made this video and putting it out there and being nervous about what people think of it than actually doing nothing, because that is a waste of my time. And it's also a break of my promise. Flaws and pain are very much related to each other, but the way I look at it is if you see a sketch of an artist, of someone you like, look at how the white is used in the sketch part before everything's inked in and filled in and made to look beautiful. There are so many eraser marks where the illustrator just basically rubs out certain parts because he wants the white to show off more against the contrast of the shading of the pencils. It gets darker and the white is there. Those are flaws. And they complement it to make it look like something whole. And then the flaws are used to make something even greater. So that's my video for Wednesday. Please leave your suggestions in comments for a punishment. I promise you that Sunday's video will be a lot more entertaining, but that is the downside of trying to do so many videos a week. Sometimes you're just gonna have a bad day. Thank you for supporting me, and I will see you on Sunday. Adios.